Welcome back here to day number 2 of the DreamHack Pro Circuit, where we just witnessed NRG plant their flag at the top of the Rocket League throne and world as I throw my notebook everywhere and prove that they are one of the best, if not the best team in the World of Rocket League, taking on Renault Vitality. I am your host, Wade Dreadnought Penfold, and with me here at the desk, I have always got myself, you know what, we're going to mix it up. We got a turtle, and now we got a Gibbs.
Excuse me, on the title card, my name comes in the top left, you know, like on those movie posters. Just Gibbs.
I didn't realize that you took your credit listing that high of a priority. Like, it's that relevant. Contract. You know what? I need to re-sign mine and find a way to just be like, as long as it's just a half inch above Gibbs, I don't care where else it could be.
I don't like it.
Anyways, there. As we said, NRG against Barcelona, or excuse me, not Barcelona. It's going to be against Vitality. It was a dominant performance there, 3-0. Even though we expected a lot here from these two groups, especially with the mechanical threats that they have on both sides.
It's just insane by NRG, just incredibly clean on defense, on offense, everywhere. Vitality scores 1 goal in 15 minutes. Well done by NRG.
Out of all the games today that we see, that's the one. That's a 3-0. That, I mean, what is that?
No, it's actually kind of mind-boggling there, Turtle. We have gone almost Game 5 in almost every other series before that point, which some of those you would not expect to be able to reach that point. And then the one that we're like, this is it. This is what we thought was going to be the finals. And then NRG just goes, nah, we don't care. We're just going to end this.
And that's why it's so crazy for DreamHack, right? We've seen that magic, not necessarily on day 1, but day number 2. We have 2 rival series teams now making day number 3 and 2 RLCS teams. So it's anyone's game, and we're going to see even better matches now with group number B.
Yeah,
group letter B.
You know, it works. It all works here. You know? Yeah, and moving on to this next series, and the one that you may be highlighting there is going to be a doozy here, as we got ourselves FC Barcelona up against compLexity. And we have gotten a glance at compLexity on the stream, on the other stream, but we are actually yet to see FC Barcelona here.
So with them, it's all about speed, right? Speed is king. Devo and Bluey, they are players that have won titles before. Devo, he's a world champion. Bluey, DreamHack Leipzig 2018. They have that experience. But the player to look out for is, of course, Alpha, the MVP from Europe. He played out of his mind this season and got them that number 2 spot.
Just so dominant. And the thing about last DreamHack was that we were shown Devo with a team that might make him a world champion again. And after an RLCS season, I think it polished out their team play and polished out their mechanics in general. And I think it got them ready to reclaim a title that could potentially be a world champion.
Yeah, when you guys talk about that speed in last DreamHack, man, they absolutely, with that speed, dismantled Cloud9, which at the time was a roster we were talking about. Nobody can beat the speed and pacing at which they came into the game.
But let's not forget about compLexity. They had a 3-0 versus PSG, known as the 3rd best team in Europe, and not only a 3-0, they completely shut them out. The perfect sweep. So compLexity has been on fire. They are recently promoted back to the RLCS. They actually lost to this Barcelona team back in the Season 6 promotion, all the way down to game number 7.
And they probably have so much momentum coming in. Just going into RLCS, they're just throwing everything they can right now on the stage, and they're just saying to themselves, let's just make a statement right now for everybody to see that we are going to bring everything we have to RLCS.
And if they do make that statement, is there a playstyle or player that really you feel like is going to be that's the moment there, especially when looking at compLexity?
I would have to say Flakes will probably be that one. We didn't see him versus G2 necessarily, but on the other side, again, you have to talk about Alpha when you talk about this team. His first ever LAN was DreamHack Leipzig, and they came in 3rd place. He played really well there, then continued that throughout the RLCS season. Bluey, he has seen success before. He made the bold move. Like he got kicked by PSG, and then comes back and has been dominating them all season long.
And he just hit us with a dab.
He didn't just hit us with a dab. It was a speedy dab. Like, it's almost as if these guys can't slow down.
Not really sure how to feel, but Devo, I mean, I don't think he's going to dab, but definitely going to come in.
Devo's not dabbing.
For the world champion title, trying to reclaim his spot. He's been up there. He's been at the top. He knows what it feels like, and he definitely is hungry for it once again.
Yeah, and that was something, you know, when we're talking about this roster earlier, especially when revisiting their performance that they had at the last DreamHack, Alpha 54 was absolutely a talking point, right? With him being that kind of, I want to say, you know, scrub killer 2.0, or at least scrub killer comparisons as how young they are, how skilled they are and gifted. But, you know, when we looked at the roster for Vitality, you suddenly go, well, you got K-Dop. That's a lot of great guidance there. But I feel like a lot of people overlook the fact that they still have that within people like Devo here on this roster.
Yeah, I would give credit to Bluey. He's usually that in-game leader, and he's really grown up over this past year. When he's on PSG, when they were losing, he seemed a little toxic on Twitter, and that's kind of why PSG got rid of him. It seemed like it wasn't a good team atmosphere. So he's had to grow up over this past year. He teamed up with Devo and Alpha, and that's clearly worked. But we've seen it just so much success when they have a bad series. We used to say, oh, Bluey's just going to continue down that hill and just roll out and lose everything. But they had a great season. They bounced back from bad losses. They got perfectly swept by Vitality, but they still bounce back and come to number 2 in the league. So they've seen to have grown up.
Yeah, and the mental game, especially for a younger player, is definitely one that you want to have polished and just completely mastered at a certain point, because going into lands and everything like that, especially as a young player, it's so easy to let thoughts, negatively affect you. So for him to come back and mature, like you said, and to come here with a statement and trying to prove what he has, I'm just excited to see him.
Yeah, to build that maturity and that thick skin can very much be a difficult thing, especially for those youthful players. But now it is time here to get our predictions between compLexity and FC Barcelona. And I'm going to leave it, either one of you can take it this time. Which one of you has the strongest feelings about who's going to win?
No, Papa Gibbs, come on.
All right,
You're just talking
that's
about
true.
maturity.
It is my contract. It is. That is true. I am actually going to go with compLexity here. They just took down the number 3 team, PSG, in a clean sweep. I feel like we have to ride that hot hand. I feel like they have that hot hand right now. But also, a lot of pressure on this matchup, because whoever loses this, they go into the same side of the bracket as Vitality, and only one of those teams can make it out. A lot of pressure, but I'm going to go compLexity here.
I mean, we haven't seen Barca today on stage, and honestly, I think that could be a benefit to them, especially with their player like Alpha. I think it's going to prove to be really a great opportunity for them to prove right away. They're just ready to perform on stage, so I think Barca's going to take it.
I'm struggling on this one. Normally I walk in and I'm like, I got an opinion. It's pretty 70-30, but this one really does feel like every argument I hear, I suddenly go, oh, maybe I should be going the other way on the back end of it. And the only thing that gets me, I guess, sticking here to one side is based on more of the recent history rather than today and in this tournament. And that makes me go, Barcelona is the roster I've got to keep with. I mean, their pace at which they play the game is so impressive. The European Cloud9, if you will, I think is the way that it's been at least discussed for some time. And that is something that you can't look past.
Oh, for sure. But this is DreamHack, and it's been pretty magical day number 2.
It has been.
So compLexity has a shot for sure, and they've been showing it throughout the promotion tournament and now here today.
Yeah. And I honestly want to see how Magnus...
Look at that, 50-50.
Wow. Wait, real?
Wait,
wow.
wait.
I like it.
Hello?
I like it.
I'm actually amazed to be able to see that one there.
I'm kind of confused right now. 50-50 is... Are you serious?
Hey.
No, actually,
right there on the
he
board.
paid
I'm not
in his
lying.
contract. He paid the dude in the back
I guess
too,
Gibbs
like
has
the
the Gibbs
sabotage.
effect. Anything Gibbs picks, just wave to people.
Honestly, you're going to learn that it's not just Gibbs. It really is, actually. I hate to break it to you, chat, but sometimes you guys just kind of blind follow the things that people up here say rather than having your own opinion. I don't know. Yeah, but Gibbs has the strongest opinion, plus,
Excuse me.
maybe the biggest ego, too. I don't know.
Excuse me. I'm the prediction king 2 seasons in a row for RLCS. Twitch chat,
Yeah, but
follow
I
me,
handed you
please.
that trophy, so.
That is true. You did.
He's guessing here just like he always is everywhere else there, everybody at home. But we are going to get this thing underway. I'm going to send you guys over to the commentary crew of JamesBot and Jorby.
Thank you, Dred. 50-50. The fans.
Surprising.
The Twitch chat
I
really
mean,
is.
Barcelona, I feel like Barcelona is the favorite coming into this. They had an incredible RLCS season. Even the last DreamHack stunning everybody with the run that they made. Barcelona, we haven't had a chance to see them on the mainstream, so maybe that's what's influencing a lot of this, is just that Barcelona just hasn't had a chance to put their skills on display.
And I think that a lot of people are riding this compLexity hot train that is just, rolling through. I mean, they started out in the promotion tournament and promoted into the RLCS. Greasymeister on that team. Greasymeister has impressed me lately. He just came back and seemed to have fixed everything that was going wrong for him. And he's been making solid touches. He has been a great team player. And compLexity overall, I mean, they got to this point, one more win, and they're in day 2, and they've been stomping people here this weekend in Dallas.
Absolutely. You can't forget that Greasy, he's a world champion himself. Back in Season 2 with Flipside, when he was playing, he's got the ability to get back to the top. Devo and Greasy, both similar stories. Players who'd won it all and then had a fall from grace. And now they're surging back and on a trajectory to get back to the top. But it's gonna, one of their journeys is gonna have a slight speed bump here, as one of them is gonna have to go down to that lower bracket.
It begins now. Magnus Over to Flakes, and we haven't even mentioned Flakes, who has been the flash star of this complexity team. Rolling off the post was Devo's shot. That one off the crossbar and a forced error. Alpha 54 gets the first goal.
Barcelona, the speed that was mentioned, we see it here. Devo hitting it off the lip of the post. It hits the crossbar, comes back out to Alpha, and then Alpha hits the crossbar as well, getting some help from a complexity player to put it into the net. And Barcelona, you know, they're such a scary team. Every single player is an incredible weapon. But like you said, Chorby, complexity has Flakes, who's also a weapon of mass destruction. And another goal for Barcelona.
Bluey gets this, and I thought this was going to be saved. The first touch off of his own corner. Magnus is the man back. He has to respect Devo right in front of the ball. He's expecting Devo to get more power on that touch. It never comes. The ball bounces higher than he thinks.
I was surprised by that one too.
And so a quick 2-goal lead here for Barcelona. Maybe not in the fashion you may have expected. And a stunning start for complexity. And again, oh, that was a close one. Alpha almost finding the read there against Magnus. He does have the save. But Barcelona, Bluey the pass to Devo, rolling off a defender off the backboard. And Alpha back over to Bluey.
You know, sometimes you see a team keep an opposing team in their own half. This time it seems like complexity's being stuck in their own box.
And Barcelona, they're known to do this. They can just put a vice grip on your defense, just throwing themselves at every single challenge, but they win every single one of them. And James, you said it earlier, all three of these players are stars. All of them can make things happen by themselves, and that just makes it such a dangerous unit to play against.
Absolutely, and you know, you got to wonder, where is that threat going to come from now?
Oh, he stops it right against the backboard, Devo. But Magnus and Flakes able to finally get it away. It's challenged by Bluey. Have not spent a lot of time in the orange half in the first 2 minutes. The demo opens it up for Magnus. Just blocked right into Bluey.
Bluey covering the net there, but it's not over yet. Complexity starting to get some offense going, but back-to-back demos trading on both teams getting physical.
And Greasy out of boost, not able to continue. Boomer gives Flakes. Greasy a chance in midfield. Now Barcelona will take it from their own back wall. Complexity still around here in midfield. Flakes has a one-on-one. Greasy up for this on the opposite side. Greasy maybe looking on the opposite side, but he had a shot. If he wanted to take it, Devo close to this. Greasy on the challenge.
And I love that bump from Alpha at the midfield that allowed Barcelona to keep possession and put it on, but now a counterattack chance for Complexity.
And again, Greasy looking for Flakes, just a little too much power on the pass. Flakes couldn't commit to it. That one off the backboard. And Bluey, the third man, shot on, blocked by Greasy. Not the best touch as it bounced straight off the ceiling. Bluey got back to it. And now Devo takes it from midfield. The shot from Alpha blocked by Magnus. He gets caught against the post, so Barcelona will continue the attack. Knocked away again by Magnus. And Flakes will help Complexity at least get it out to the third before it's boomed right back to their own back wall.
They've had flashes where they've been on offense, Complexity, but right now, Barcelona starting to get back in the groove.
Greasy slows this down across the box, and for Complexity, it was a scary 30 seconds at the beginning of the game, but after that, things have definitely stabilized. They still can't really find consistent presence in the orange half. This is a good chance from Greasy. The shot blocked by Alpha.
They have tested the defense a little bit of Barcelona, but nothing incredibly threatening just yet. Barcelona's been keeping a cool head, able to get all these saves.
And just trying to consistently keep possession. Barcelona slowing it down in their half. They respond with a couple of boomers when they feel like they can find a gap in Complexity, and most times they have found those gaps. Devo kicks this downfield. Flakes, his touch over Bluey as Alpha coming in to support. Bluey winning. Big challenge here for Barcelona, taking the boost and Greasy can't find the touch. Alpha scores off the demo from Bluey, and 3-goal lead for Barcelona late.
And we've seen quite a few demos. This time, Bluey using it to get a bit of an insurance goal. A savage play from him right through the smoke. Alpha gets it. That's his second of the game. 100% goal participation so far for Alpha. You can really tell why he was the European MVP.
Twice the shot count of compLexity are Barcelona, 10-5. compLexity have had to make 5 saves, but have let in 3 of those shots. Again, early miscues for compLexity. Really just put this game out of reach after a while. And then a lack of offense. Devo cut off by Greasy. Magnus has Greasy Meister. Quick pass out over to Flakes, and Flakes can't pick it up. It was in traffic.
But that was the right idea. The pass just too far out ahead of him. But compLexity is going to need to string together plays like that if they hope to take it to Barcelona in game 2.
Devo back over to Bluey to confirm a Barcelona victory here in game number 1.
Barcelona coming out, showing us what's up. You can see Bluey over there. He's ready to play, and he's showing us.
It's the power of the dab.
I disagree.
Well, you know, you're wrong.
Okay, well.
Bluey won. I have the results. They speak for themselves,
Yeah,
James.
but Alpha did most of the work. Let's be real here.
Absolutely. And it all started with a great attack to kick things off for Barcelona. And really, it was Alpha who forced the error on Flakes. And then Magnus, I mean, he has to respect Devo. As Devo was approaching the ball there.
Yes, and absolutely. It was an all-around team effort. In all seriousness, Bluey did have a fantastic game. Him and Alpha really teaming up to put on immense pressure, overwhelming pressure on compLexity. compLexity, they were forced to make 6 saves that game, only had 5 shots. So they were trapped in their own box for a lot of the beginning. But then, like you said, Jorby, compLexity started to stabilize. However, they were not able to get incredibly threatening opportunities to ever really challenge Barcelona.
Yeah, they had Greasy Meister on a couple of counterattacks where he had Flakes on the wing or had him downfield or the opposite way, and their passes just weren't connecting. If they connect on a couple of those, they maybe start to really test Barcelona on defense. We just haven't seen it yet. But really, it's just a game of centimeters, if you will, for compLexity. They just connect on some of these passes. They might have more success in the orange half of the field. So game number 2 underway here in compLexity. After what's been really a hot run at DreamHack Dallas, Barcelona is a big stopgap and maybe the last for compLexity, unless they can pull it together. Bluey back over to Alpha and taken away by Flakes.
Already a scary moment there for compLexity. They sent 2 players at the ball. It was a 2v1 situation, but they hold firm. They let game 1 get out of hand very early on. So compLexity eager to turn the tables in game 2.
Flakes is trying to force the ball across the box. Greasy now has it off the backboard. Magnus up for this. Does he have the shot? Too light and right in the Barcelona defense. Still in play, though. Magnus is there. At least makes the challenge. Greasy up as well. And it's challenged straight down Barcelona. Doing well in the third. Backboard also well defended. And Devo quickly up to clear that ball away.
Magnus relatively quiet so far. All players from compLexity still looking to make their mark, but Magnus has a long history of being an incredible player. You know, even when they got relegated, he was someone that a majority of people thought would get picked up. So when it didn't happen, it was a surprise. But they pick up Flakes and made a run to get back into the RLCS. The whole compLexity squad, a very historically seasoned team.
I mean, Magnus was part of one of the most prolific duos in Rocket League history. Here's a chance for Barcelona. Bluey takes it on the opposite side. Metsinaris and Magnus, they seemed like an inseparable duo for a long time, and they had a lot of success together.
Yeah, they almost won the RLCS a few times. You know, they went to the finals, and now a chance out in the middle. But Flakes, he has been the only newcomer, but he has just breathed a breath of fresh life into this squad.
Magnus in midfield wins one challenge. Greasy far back will have to wait, and it goes by him. Flakes challenged by Devo, and the passing lane's just not there for compLexity right now. Magnus has that, forces Bluey up to make a save. Barcelona having to pick up a couple more saves than they had to in game number 1. compLexity doing much better in midfield. There's that continuation. The challenge by Magnus gave Flakes a chance. Flakes wins. And now fighting against Bluey for it in the corner, but Devo gets the clear downfield.
And that was a very good recovery. Now a chance for Devo to work magic before being shut down by Greasy. But Flakes, he misflipped, but recovered so well to keep that going downfield. But it has been a battle in game 2. Neither team giving up any ground.
That's a nice play by Greasy around the corner. Kept control even after the flip, and then he won that challenge. Here's Magnus on the opposite side, but everybody on compLexity is up for it. It's a race for the ball. Devo trying to get to the back wall. Greasy gets in time for the pinch to knock it away. Bluey just trying to continue the rotation. Devo, he's next in line. Waiting for the touch. Magnus trying to play it away from him. Alpha now, next man up in the corner. They'll just bang it off the corner all day for Barcelona if they keep winning it like that. Bluey trying to play towards midfield. Alpha just getting in the way, almost tying up all 3 defenders on compLexity. The pick from Devo is just wide of the net. Greasy Meister clears it out over to Flakes, but the assault continues for Barcelona. That one knocked away from Greasy. Devo's shot is good. Barcelona on the board.
The extended assault by Barcelona keeps going. That win from Alpha over on the side, so important. And then Devo comes in, a lot of net to shoot on, puts it in the upper 90. Barcelona, late in game 2, take the lead.
compLexity, while it looks better here in game number 2, still unable to score. Flakes carrying this himself up high off the backboard. Magnus picks up the rebounds. And now Alpha fighting against Greasy. Alpha plays the read well. Flakes going the other way, off the corner. Greasy close by, broken up by Bluey. Another Barcelona defensive effort. Well done. And Alpha picks this up in midfield as Barcelona take the attack to compLexity. That was a great play by Flakes. Gets the challenge win and gets the pass to Greasy. Not the best touch from Devo. Trying to sneak that one in was Magnus, but Devo stayed behind it, has the save. Flakes another clear out. A demo on the back end from Bluey to try to open up compLexity's net. 40 seconds left for compLexity. Flakes, his boomer denied by Bluey. Magnus, the touch is down. Greasy far back onto it. Devo couldn't find it either. Greasy pulled off. He thought it was going to the corner.
And a 1-goal lead, never safe. Even though Barcelona has had so much pressure, it could end in a heartbeat. compLexity now on the attack. Time ticking off the clock. Time running out in game 2.
Flakes right into Alpha. compLexity, 10 seconds. They have to do it from their own net. Magnus broken up. Greasy Meister, all he can do is get in front. And nothing. Flakes has to keep it in the air. Across the field, Magnus can't keep it up. It rolls down to the ground. Barcelona, 1 game away from going to day 3.
And that game was as close as it gets, just 1-0. Devo putting in the only goal. It bounced out to him in the middle. He had a lot of net to shoot on, and he did not take that for granted.
This one out, the only goal that Barcelona needed was first that challenge in the corner, and then the old wifty, James, if you will. It would have been a 50-50, but no one hit it.
You can see there, Roken, the coach for Barcelona, manager, I believe both, maybe. But watching from the sidelines, cheering his team on. Barcelona off to a hot start. And now just 1 game away from day 3.
Bluey proudly representing the club. Of a point to the patch on the arm. compLexity. Well, they had the perfect series against PSG. They shut them out. And compLexity, they're the ones getting shut out here against Barcelona.
You know, it may be surprising to some, but if you had watched the regular season of the RLCS, you would have seen how dangerous Barcelona is, how every single one of these players so gifted. And they have managed to not only be individually gifted, but come together as a team. The last time we saw Barcelona at DreamHack, they were without an org. They were known as Savage. And they surprised everyone with how deep they ran. And now they're representing, one of the biggest organizations, not only in esports, but in football in the world. And they've just had such a meteoric rise, and it's not a surprise why these guys are that good.
And they've proven to their club and their fans that that Leipzig run, it wasn't a fluke. the RLCS season and now DreamHack Dallas. This is a top team through and through. Alpha takes this himself. Alpha scores! Electric for Barcelona.
And that's the way to start out game 3 when you're trying to close out a series. That ball just inches away from his bumper the whole time. Alpha in full control, and he gets that first goal for Barcelona.
The RLCS MVP kicking things off in a big way in game number 3.
And that's going to set the tone. compLexity's been struggling.
And they just continue off the backboard. It's picked up this time. And Flakes playing this in off the corner. He is by Devo, but in that touch, Greasy just trying to stop that ball and stop Barcelona from quickly getting back to the blue back wall. Bluey takes this away from Greasymeister. Flakes can't get it away from Devo. Devo taken out of the play. Ball falls into the net as the harassment from Bluey, and 2-0 here for Barcelona.
Flakes trying to get this ball out. He couldn't do it. Devo getting that hit, and then harassment in net as well. And Devo had to sacrifice his life, but it was worth it. Barcelona up 2-0.
Continuing the trend here in this series, Barcelona have dominated in every facet. Magnus, he can't carry that away. Greasy. Long pass to Flakes. High off the ceiling and the back wall. He's not able to get the read. Bluey just missing off the backboard, but everybody on compLexity too far back to do anything about it. And so Barcelona moved down the pitch yet again. Flakes. He's by Alpha. Greasy tries to slow down against Devo. Devo just missing the read there. Across the side wall. A long clears for compLexity. Gives Flakes and Greasy a chance. Greasy, a light touch into the net. Greasymeister sparks the compLexity offense.
And that is the first goal of the series for compLexity, coming off the acrobatics from Greasy. They avoid the shutout sweep. compLexity still behind in the game, but they needed that to get started.
And so compLexity, could it be the start of a turnaround? Or is it false hope? Plenty of Rocket League left in game number 3. Flakes hits it away from 1. And Magnus playing back on that play. Devo, that sidewall touch, Magnus thought a follow-up was definitely coming. He pulled off the play. He had the boost. Greasymeister, another challenge. Magnus tried to follow that up. Devo had him beat. There's some space here for compLexity, and they're booming the ball downfield right back into Barcelona. Midfield pass to Flakes from Magnus off the backboard, picked up by Bluey.
And those reads aren't easy, Jorby. Bluey coming through clutch, getting that hit off to the side, and now just turning away the compLexity attack, which has been gearing up.
Bluey takes this, it flips with the undercarriage on the shot. Devo takes this, another touch off the ceiling. Flakes follows it through. Oh, and Flakes, a crucial touch. Can he break away from Devo? A scrum around the corner, and Bluey picks this up. Greasymeister quickly there on the challenge. compLexity starts the siege on Barcelona against the sidewall. Bluey, he finds the gap here. And Bluey, the shot's good. Barcelona score, and it's all Bluey.
That light header at the end. Bluey, a solo play, hitting it off the wall to himself, and then that touch right there throws Flakes off. And Barcelona in a position to close out this series.
And only allow 1 goal from compLexity to boot. 2 minutes for compLexity to get back in it. And 2 minutes for Barcelona to emphatically close out this series heading into day 3. Bluey shot is saved by Flakes. Alpha, he kicked off game number 3 with a shot off the ceiling of his own. Barcelona, they have been such a tough nut to crack in the European region. Vitality really the only team that had any headway against them in RLCS League play. Since then, I mean, it's been chaos in Rocket League. We see just our participants so far in day number 3. Maybe not what a lot of people expected. A minute left for complexity.
Yeah, Barcelona, they came out of the rival series, and not many rival series teams have had incredible success, but they come in and make the World Championship along with triple trouble, but Barcelona finishing top 2 to make it happen. They have been dropping jaws, and they're trying to keep that going here at Dallas.
Flakes looking for Magnus. Challenged again by Devo. Bluey up for that quickly. Gets a light touch onto the ball. Devo following closely. Magnus just trying to buy some time. Another challenge. Keeps the ball high in the box. Bluey against the back wall. Devo can't finish it. 30 seconds. complexity need to score with time left. They can't get back to the ball. Alpha threads it back to the opposite side of midfield. Bluey keeps it going, shutting down complexity every step of the way. Greasy Meister throws it downfield. It's all for naught. 15 seconds to go. Again, they just need time on the clock for any sort of hope. Alpha, another boomer, carries it, saved by Greasy, time expiring, and Barcelona, just a whipping here against complexity to go to day 3.
Barcelona in their main stage debut do not disappoint. A stop over complexity.
It's just incredible. And for complexity, I mean, near the tail end of that series, there were a couple of plays where you felt, where was the challenge on that play? They turned away. They just feeling the speed from Barcelona. You heard Gibbs say it at the very beginning of this segment of this match. You know, Barcelona, they're known for their speed, how fast they are. And complexity, you could tell that they were playing in response to that speed.
Yeah, it was all reactive. You know, you have a team like Barcelona who's so quick, they're going to be dictating, you know, and then all complexity can do is react.
Barcelona move on to day 3. Who else will join them tomorrow? Find out after the break.
Barcelona finding a way to bring the battle here over complexity with a very dominant 3-0 victory coming into their hands here. We said that speed and pacing was going to be a relevant factor, and I feel like it came to light here as they are one of the quickest teams. Guys, what did you think here between complexity and Barcelona?
You know what? If Gibbs is the #1 predictor right now, it's going to be a pretty easy season next season.
Well, all right. So, Turtle, here's my argument. Have you ever tried to predict Houdini?
No.
You can't. You can't predict magic, and that was my mistake. That is my fault.
Wait,
right
wait,
there.
wait,
even
that
is
was
that?
a bad analogy. We know that Houdini was an escape artist, not a magician.
What's the difference? I don't even know
There
what
is
the
a
difference is.
difference
You know
between the
what?
two.
It's the
One's
same
an
thing.
illusionist, the other truly produces magic.
It's the same
Or at least
thing.
claims to do so.
Close enough. I'm
yeah.
wrong again. It's fine. Fine.
I feel like he's guessing even when it comes
Not
to like
fine.
talking about his analogies.
Not
Like the
fine.
guy's just literally grabbing his straws, digging
Man.
into his bag.
I don't like this roast. It's worse than what Barcelona just did to complexity, guys, all right? We saw complexity. They didn't even leave their goal line, it seemed like, through those 3 games. Barcelona, so much pressure. And yes, I am changing topics.
I mean, how do you even break out of that, though, with so much speed? And we saw the ceiling shots, the ceiling plays. They were comfortable literally everywhere on the pitch. How do you break out of it?
I mean, in the world of breaking out of it, you might have to pull, for lack of a more creative way to describe this, a Houdini.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Wow.
But we're going to see all the top 3 plays, and I pretty much guarantee you it's going to be all Barcelona. The few times complexity had a chance to come out, didn't really work out. The counterattacks would come out. But, we might see one from complexity. Oh, never mind. It's a counterattack. That's just the way it was for complexity. And on that goal line, you expect Devo to make that touch.
Yeah.
So that's why you probably missed those balls. But the problem is when every ball is in your half, that every 50-50 is so dangerous, and every ceiling shot is so weak.
And look at how comfortable he was. You saw him go up there, complete confidence. Everything on the pitch was just fair game for Barcelona.
And joining us here up at the desk from FC Barcelona is going to be none other than Bluey. Bluey, how did it feel there on the field? It felt like you had a lot of breathing room to kind of do what you guys wanted.
Yeah, I felt really confident going into that game. Like before, we played complexity in DreamHack qualifiers. We flawless sweep them. So coming into this game, we were really confident. Very happy with the result that we just put out.
So tomorrow, on day number 3, you play Evil Geniuses. How confident are you going into that game?
I mean, Evil Genius is just demoted to the RRS. So
Oh,
Wow, Bluey.
that's rough.
I'm
I mean,
pretty
it is
confident.
just facts.
It's just facts. And no hard feelings. No hard feelings.
Now, I'm curious if you're looking at the last DreamHack and seeing the results that you guys came in, just right away as a team. Does that, benefit you and give you more confidence right now going to all these matches?
Yeah, of course. Last DreamHack, we got semi-finals, nearly beat Dignitas, who obviously won the whole thing. So coming into this DreamHack, we're very confident and we want to win it all.
And did RLCS, in your opinion, help polish everything up? Like, do you really enjoy and are thankful for the experience you got there?
Yeah, of course. Like since coming into the RLCS with this team, I felt like we've grown as a team, like exponentially. We've grown on every single part of our game, and it's really helped us. And I think that's why we can compete at this level, and especially at this DreamHack and online. It's really good. Yeah, I love it.
If you guys keep developing at this rate, and continue to kind of foster the success, where do you guys feel like the limit is here for FC Barcelona?
There is no limit except world champions, and that's what we strive for, and that's what our desire is, to be world champs and even win this DreamHack. So anything's possible.
Well, I look forward to watch that development and that growth there, Bluey, and congratulations once again on getting that victory here. We are going to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, we have a very tense series, and the fact that we have TSM out of Europe here going up against NRG of North America. You're not going to want to miss it, so stick with us.